Captain Rivera, this is impossible. Nobody can board that ship. Captain Sofia Rivera, 33 years old, the youngest commander of the Coast Guard's Arctic Rescue Unit, looked through the frozen window. 400 meters away, in the middle of an ice mass, the Russian research vessel Akademik Volkov was visible. The ship had been silent for 3 days. All crew, 19 scientists and 8 crew members, had vanished. The last radio message was cryptic. "Something found us." God, how cold it is. Then silence. Sofia's mission was simple on paper: board the ship, assess the situation, rescue survivors. But reality was never simple, because the ice around Akademik Volkov wasn't normal. It wouldn't break, wouldn't melt, and the temperature inside the ship, minus 40 degrees Celsius, while the heating system was running. "Not impossible," Sofia said quietly, "just very dangerous. But 27 people are there, and if any are still alive, they need help." The man beside her, Dr. James Chen, Arctic biology specialist, shook his head. "Captain, I've worked in the Arctic for 30 years. I've never seen anything like this. The ice around that ship, it's not natural." "I know. And the temperature inside. No living thing can survive that temperature." "I know. Then why are you going?" Sofia looked at him. Her brown eyes were determined. "Because, Dr. Chen, I'm a Coast Guard captain. And there are people there, maybe dead, but maybe alive. And the only way I'll know is to go." 12 hours later, Sofia Rivera and her 3-person team would step onto Akademik Volkov's deck. And what they would find there was something none of them could have imagined. Sofia Rivera's Arctic rescue career had begun 10 years ago. She'd served in the Coast Guard for 12 years, the first 3 years in standard patrol duties, the next 5 in special operations, the last 4 in the Arctic Rescue Unit. The Arctic was different. The cold killed, ice deceived, darkness brought madness. But Sofia loved it, because in the Arctic the rules were clear: be careful or die. But the Akademik Volkov case was different. The ship had been conducting scientific research off Greenland, collecting ocean floor samples, gathering climate change data, routine work. 3 days ago, the last message came from the ship, detecting abnormal freezing. Investigating. 6 hours later, the second message: ice has reached the ship. We cannot move. 3 hours later, the third message, cryptic and panicked. Something found us. Inside is freezing. Heating is working, but God, how cold. Then, silence. When Sofia's team reached Akademik Volkov aboard the rescue ship USCGC Healy, what they saw was scientifically impossible. Around the ship, in a perfect circle 50 meters in diameter, was something different from ice. Not white, not blue, almost transparent. And it wouldn't break. Sofia's engineer, Lieutenant Marcus Webb, had tested the ice. "Captain, this isn't normal ice. The crystal structure is completely different. It's like water molecules froze in a different way." "What do you mean?" "I don't know, but it's 10 times harder than normal ice. And the temperature, minus 60 degrees, but the air temperature is minus 15. "I know. That's why I'm saying it's impossible." Sofia looked at the ship. Its lights were on, generator running, but no sound from inside. "Thermal camera." Webb showed the scan. The ship's interior, blue, cold, everywhere minus 40 degrees. "Nobody can survive that temperature," Dr. Chen said. "The human body freezes in 20 minutes. "I know," Sofia said, "but I have to go." Her team looked at her. Marcus Webb, 32, 10 years of engineering experience. Sarah Kim, 28, medical officer. And Dr. James Chen, 61, Arctic specialist. "Captain," Webb said carefully, "if we enter that ship, we could freeze. Even the heating system can't warm the interior." "I know." "Then why?" "Because, Marcus, 27 people are there, maybe dead, but maybe someone hid. Found a warm spot is alive. And if we don't go check, we'll never know. Webb nodded. Understood. When do we go? In 2 hours. Prepare. 2 hours later, Sofia and her team were ready. Special Arctic suits, resistant to -70 degrees, 6 hours of oxygen, heated gloves, thermal cameras, radio, medical supplies, and weapons. Sofia wouldn't prefer this, but protocol required it. In unknown, dangerous environments, defense was necessary. A small boat from the Healy approached Akademik Volkov. The strange ice ring was still there. Sofia touched it with her gloved hand. Harder than ice, and very, very cold. This isn't natural, Chen murmured. The ship's ladder was covered with ice, but climbable. Sofia went first, Webb behind, Kim in the middle, Chen last. When they reached the deck, the silence was suffocating. No sound, not even wind, as if sound waves were being absorbed. Thermal camera, Sofia whispered. Making sound felt wrong. Webb checked the device. Interior still -40, but wait, an anomaly. What? Lower deck, a small area, -10 degrees, like there's a heat source. Sofia's heart raced. Could there be a survivor? Maybe. Then we're going there. They entered the ship. The main door was open. Inside was dark, but their flashlights lit the way. And the cold. Indescribable cold. Despite their suits, Sofia could feel it, as if the cold passed through the fabric and touched her skin directly. This isn't normal, Kim said. Our suits are resistant to -70. But I'm feeling the cold. Me too, Webb added. Chen said nothing, but his face was tense. Walking down the corridor, Sofia noticed details. Ice crystals on the walls, but not normal crystals. Their shapes were geometric, perfect hexagons, as if someone had drawn them by hand. Chen, what is this? Chen looked. His face paled. This is impossible. Ice crystals form randomly, but these symmetrical, patterned. What does it mean? I don't know, but it's not natural. They descended to the lower deck. The heat source was in a cabin. The door was closed. Sofia opened the door. Inside, a man was lying in a sleeping bag, motionless. Kim immediately ran, checked pulse. He's alive. Pulse very weak, but alive. Get him to Healy immediately, Sofia ordered, but before the man spoke, he opened his eyes, blurry, fear-filled eyes, and whispered in a hoarse voice, "Run, it's here. Not frozen, sleeping." Then he fainted. Sofia froze. What does that mean? Webb shrugged. I don't know, but I don't like it. Kim pulled the man from the sleeping bag. We need to leave now. He has hypothermia, but Sofia couldn't stop. Webb, you and Kim take him to Healy. Chen and I will check the rest of the ship. Captain, that's an order, Lieutenant. Webb nodded. Understood, but stay in radio range. If there's any problem, exit immediately. Okay. Webb and Kim carried the survivor out. Sofia and Chen were alone, in the frozen ship. Dr. Chen, Sofia said quietly. Who was the man mentioned? Before Chen could answer, a sound was heard. Cracking. Not the sound of ice breaking. Different. As if ice was growing. Sofia and Chen looked into the corridor and saw, from the wall, something was emerging from ice. Human-shaped, but not human. Made entirely of ice. It had no eyes, but it was watching. Chen held his breath. God. The ice figure moved, slowly, toward them. Sofia drew her weapon. Back off. She fired. The bullet hit the ice figure. It shattered, but the figure just grew larger. The broken parts regrew. Run! Sofia yelled. Sofia and Chen ran. Behind them, the ice figure's footsteps could be heard, but not footsteps. More like ice cracking. As if with each step, ice was growing from the floor and breaking. Up! Sofia yelled. To the deck! They climbed the stairs. Sofia's lungs burned. The cold air made breathing difficult, but she couldn't stop. She looked back. The ice figure was still coming, slow but determined, and growing. Every passing second, slightly larger. They reached the deck, outside, but the ice figure didn't stop. "Jump to Healy!" Sofia yelled. "Now!" Chen didn't hesitate. He ran to the ship's edge and jumped into the small boat. Sofia looked back. The ice figure had reached the deck. It was now 3 meters tall. It had lost its human shape, more like a monster. Sofia ran, reached the ship's edge, jumped, fell into the boat. Chen caught her. "Go, go, go!" Sofia yelled to the pilot. The boat sped away. Sofia looked back. The ice figure stood at the ship's edge, not moving, just watching. It had no eyes, but Sofia could feel its gaze. And then, slowly, the figure began to melt, dissolved, and merged with the ship's deck. It disappeared. On the Healy, the rescued man, Dr. Akademik Volkov, the ship's namesake, coincidentally regained consciousness. Sofia sat beside him. "Dr. Volkov, can you tell me what happened?" Volkov was shivering. He was in warm blankets, but still couldn't escape the cold. "We found something at the ocean floor, in ice, an object." "What kind of object?" "We don't know, but very old, maybe millions of years. And inside, something was there, not alive, but not dead, frozen." Chen leaned forward. "What do you mean?" "We brought that object aboard to study, but when it came on the ship, it started warming, and the thing inside woke up." Sofia's stomach turned. "Woke up?" "Yes. At first, only ice crystals formed, but then more. The whole ship began freezing. Heating was working, but it didn't help. As if that thing was stealing heat, absorbing it." "What happened to the crew?" Volkov's eyes filled. It was fast, very fast. First day, 5 people froze, alive, then more. I hid, in a small cabin, near the engine room. There was some heat there, but the others, where are they?" "I don't know. Maybe still on the ship, frozen. Or that thing took them." Sofia stood. "Webb, we're going back to the ship." "What?" Webb was shocked. "Captain, there's a monster there." "I know, but 26 more people are there, maybe frozen, but maybe they can be saved." Chen nodded. "Captain, if they're frozen, bringing them back alive is very difficult. But if we act fast, maybe a few people, then we'll act fast." 2 hours later, Sofia and a larger team, 8 people, returned to the ship. This time they were prepared. Flamethrowers, heaters, more powerful weapons, and equipment to find the object Volkov described. They entered the ship. Everything was colder, below -50, but the team was resilient. "Volkov, where was the object?" Sofia asked. "In the laboratory. Lower deck." They descended to the laboratory and found it. A metal capsule, 2 meters long, covered in ice. But inside the ice, a shape was there. Not human, but resembled human. "What is this?" Sofia whispered. Chen scanned with devices. "I don't know, but I'm getting biological signals. Very weak, but they're alive. Like sleeping. Frozen sleep, but still there." Sofia made her decision. Transport the capsule to Healy, into deep freeze, for research. But first, let's find the crew. They found the crew, in different parts of the ship, all frozen, but Dr. Chen said 3 people could be saved with rapid thawing and medical intervention. "Transport immediately," Sofia ordered. But leaving the ship, Sofia looked back one last time. The ice figure hadn't returned, but Sofia knew it was still there, waiting, watching. 6 months later, Captain Sofia Rivera sat in a conference room in Washington, D.C. At the table before her were 3 generals and 2 scientists. "Captain Rivera," one of the generals said, "we've read your report. The Akademik Volkov case. Extraordinary. Yes, sir. The capsule you recovered is still being studied, but the results are disturbing." "What did you find, sir?" One of the scientists, Dr. Sarah Lynn, leaned forward. The entity in the capsule is 3 million years old, before the Ice Age, but still alive. A type of cryptobiosis, frozen life. And the most concerning part, what? There are 47 more on the ocean floor. Sofia's breath caught. The general continued, Captain Rivera, because of your experience and success, we're establishing a new unit, Cryo Threat Response Team, and we want to make you commander. What kind of missions, sir? Finding frozen entities, isolating them, studying them, and, if necessary, destroying them. Sofia thought. She remembered Akademik Volkov, the ice figure, the frozen crew, and that thing in the capsule. I accept, sir. The general smiled. Excellent. Your first mission starts tomorrow. A research station in Greenland went silent. Their last message, something is moving under the ice. Sofia stood. When do we leave? In 12 hours. Choose your team. But Captain, this time, not just rescue. Understand, because these entities aren't just threats. They're a sign of something. And that something is big. Sofia nodded. Understood, sir. Leaving the meeting, Dr. Chen was waiting. Captain, I heard. New unit. Yes. Would you like me to come with you? Sofia smiled. Dr. Chen, we couldn't have escaped that ship without you. Of course I want you. Chen nodded. Then I'll be ready. Because, Captain, this is just the beginning. Those entities were frozen for a reason, and now they're waking. The question is, why? And who froze them? Sofia looked outside. Snowy Washington, cold, but safe cold, known cold. But now there was another cold, frozen time, and that time was waking. If you love stories of history's lost secrets, frozen dangers, and heroes confronting the unknown, don't forget to subscribe, because Captain Sofia Rivera's journey has just begun.